So thank you so much. Very warm welcome, all of you. So in this area, in Europe, as well as Germany, we have not very good health condition. So due to that, of course, we are not able to meet, to see each other in Tibet House in Frankfurt. But it's, modern technique is very, very advanced and very, there's so many things can be done. So therefore we can see at least through or in the monitor, and we can talk to each other. This is marvelous, isn't it? So therefore I would like to welcome all of you today. We have quite a number of people from the different kinds of countries. And of course, from here in Germany and Netherlands and the United States, I presume, and maybe some from Switzerland as well as Austria, I'm not that sure. So there are some countries from that country, so participated, some of our friends. And then from my old friends from Singapore, as well as new friends from Singapore, then of course, quite a large number from mainland China, and some from Malaysia, Taiwan, Australia, Indonesia, and Nepal, maybe few from India as well, I'm not that sure. So anyway, it's just great that we can talk to each other through this way. So therefore, I would like to welcome you, all of you. 大家好，好久不见，吉祥如意。今天很高兴跟大家上课交流。So now before we start, I heard that today there are some quite a number of people joined us first time. So therefore, I would like to introduce a little bit from my side, from my person, as well as our topics. So, of course, all of you know my name, and I lived since over 53 years in Germany, and I worked last 38 years at the University of Bonn as a Tibetologist. And my main topic was iconography and symbolism and Buddhist art. These three are my main topic. My Institute of Central Asian Studies at the Bonn University. After my retirement, my wife and myself moved to Berlin, which is the capital of Germany, because our son and daughter, they moved already beforehand due to their jobs. So therefore, we don't have to be near Bonn area. So therefore, we moved here, and we're feeling very, very comfortable here. Although it's a big city, but we're living very, very, very quietly. So we hardly have any communication with others. So that's quite all right. And I'm trying to write and read a little bit, and then usually we're enjoying to have our 5 grandchildren. But now, because of the disease, so we have to keep, we need to be a bit careful. So that's actually my short introduction about my person. And then to the topic is actually simply says Lamrim. The Lamrim is some sort of a description of our life. How can we spend our life? And identification of a life. And but still, there are some different kind of, or some possibilities to have a different kind of structures. From where are you going to start? If you mostly learn from the Gelupa side, Gelupa masters composed, start with master disciples condition and precious human life, and so on and so forth. But some other starts start with Buddha nature. Some other starts, some other different, there are quite a number of difference how you start. So therefore, it's never mind. In any case, you can engage with all these subjects. So therefore, so you will be free from subject that you are going to start. But still, my teacher is very much focusing that Lamrim also can be start, maybe also should be start. Maybe the source of Lamrim is Abhisamaya Alankara. That means Pajara Paramita. That means the main big subject of Buddhist doctrines. And that subject includes all this bodhicitta and all this Buddha nature and all sort of kinds of whatever we have at Lamrim. We are based, or the source of all this Lamrim is Abhisamaya. And the Lamrim is presentation of a simplified form of Abhisamaya. For example, if you are talking about 3 jewels, we just more or less go through roughly about the qualities of the 3 jewels. But in Abhisamaya, we are always working with the so-called definition. What is the definition of what? Definition of a Buddha, definition of a Dhamma, definition of Sangha. And then we also explain the several, each part of definitions in details. So at the end, if you studied well Abhisamaya, so that you know more profoundly, you more precisely. So that's because it's very important to link, or better say, to go back to the root text. So after all, we're supposed to practice so-called Buddhism, so-called Dharma. So meaning of practice Dharma, that we need to get some help from this Dhamma idea. And we can get such a profound, such a detailed information from the Abhidhamma, from the Dhamma text, and then through your understanding that you need to be applied in your mind, with your mind. So at the end, you must have a certain, not only understanding, but you must have certain achievement in our mind. When we're talking about achievement, it wouldn't mean that's highest achievement. As Buddhists, we are talking about Buddhahood is our supposed to be goal. And then But before to reach the Buddhahood, there are so many minor, or however, so many other kind of that we need to be achieved. Without all this achievement, there's no possible to achieve the Buddhahood. So therefore, every day we can get some kind of achievements. Just for example, if you read a book, and if you focus on certain points, so you read and think about this matter, this point. So then some click must be in your mind. This is also achievement. So therefore, there's no limit, no number of achievements. So we need to go through all these achievements one by one. So this is just rough idea of Lamrim. And last time, about 6 months ago, I think, we started with this instruction Lamrim, which has 60 verses. And this Lamrim is based on the 10 instructions of Abhisamaya. So as I mentioned earlier, due to the suggestion from my teacher, I try to, from his talks and several other teachers, both female and males, that I received many teachings, so put together and concisely, and but not very extensive, but in shorter form. And so because that it became 60 verses. Not because that I would like to write a text with 60 verses. So then, according to this plan, put all the subjects in these 60 verses. Not that way, but it's become automatically like that. It can also be 59 verses or 61, but more or less it's nature of the composition. And in fact, I don't go through again, so otherwise it will never end. So I just want to give you short information. The most important part that we discussed was verse number 1, 4. If you have something to write, just note down, and then in any case, you have my text, I presume, translated into English and German, as well as Chinese. Into other language, I don't know. So therefore, however, verse number 1, 4, 6, 7, 8, and 11. These are crucial. They're crucial. So then I don't need to repeat it. In fact, what we have, the text, is translated by Englishman, Gaden Shartse. He is one of the best, maybe the best. But however, he is very, very kind and he translated so well, so precisely and so compact. His translation must be very, very good. So many people talking about his translations are so beautiful. So therefore, he was kindly to help us to translate a bigger Lamrim, which is Gelwe Gongin, with 2 volumes. He translated into English. And while he translated, he also need to some check with me. So we had a more or less weekly discussion through the telephone call, through the video call. So we became very good friends at the end, and I learned very much from him, and so therefore it is I'm very happy that he also accepted my request to translate this 60 verses as well. But however, I have some sort of information beforehand in this text, and at the end colophon. And Tibetan form is this text, and but he only translated more or less middle part, the actual part, 60 verses. And he also mentioned that it's necessary to be rechecked again, of course, from him. My great friend and a very knowledgeable, very highly respected Buddhist teacher, Samdon Rinpoche, he was very kindly to accept my request to write commentary on this text. So I think he's occupied writing with this commentary, but we didn't talk to very recently, and on top of that, I don't want to give any pressure. So, however, if it's finished after Rinpoche text, after finish the Rinpoche text, so Gaden will also translate it into English. So then we also can translate to other languages as well. So these are the information so that I would like to pass on you. Tomorrow we have a plan. Actually, there's no change. 11:30 to 13 Middle European time, and that means 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. ASEAN Common Time. That means Europe, the Asian time, Chinese, Singapore, China, Singapore, Taiwan, and so on and so forth. And then, that's right. And then tomorrow, from 14 to 15, that means 9 p.m. to 10 p.m., the second session for tomorrow. And tomorrow evening, unfortunately, it's a bit late for people in Asia. So, however, from 16 to 17 hours, and that means 11 p.m. to 12 p.m. Question and answer. So maybe you can skip it. So never mind. And on Sunday, again, 11:30 to 1. That means 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. So some of this, or all of this actually, 1.5 an hour time, but I'm not sure whether I can manage that or not. So maybe I need to stop after 1 hour, or anyway, we start at least we would start on time, and then rest of things, how long and so on, we can see it. So today we're going to start with number 12, and this is actually very basic, very basic. And I have written here, Nangshui Ningbu Jundi Tender To, Tene Tabe, Tenju Tawa Tang, Choba Tsawa Pong Tsulok Ne, Rangshin Pende Tapsho Zambarji. So that means with the law of cause and effect, the very essence of Buddhism, I will train in the conduct of giving up harming others. And the dependence origination view of imputed existence, and will strive in the great path of bringing happiness to others. So this is the very crucial, the law of cause and effect, and conduct of giving up harming others. These two is most sort of basic Buddhism. If someone asks, what is the message of Buddhism? The answer is very clearly law of cause and effect, or better to say, law of cause and effect. And in the conduct of giving up harming others, there's no single any Buddhist part which are not included one of this. So first, law of cause and effect. Sometimes I have feeling, actually it's the same as karma. As soon as if you use the term of karma, it suddenly becomes its religion. It's a religious flavor. It has a religious flavor. But in fact, it's karma and law of cause and effect is actually the same. Recently, I'm writing some other texts, and I've come across to explain a little bit. Because the cause and condition or cause of effect, these are actually very, very crucial, very easy to understand. And there are so many evidence in every day. So I just give an example. If I go for a walk in the woods or the street, go for shopping, I come across someone, just slightly I smile. If I smile, so then others maybe smile back. Because of my smile, he or she get happy. And because of that, this person smiled me back. This is cause and effect. Very simple. And then, if someone says hello, then I didn't say anything and not even look at him or her. So that means he or she would like to be polite, friendly, nice to me. But I reacted different way. Because that he or she feels so sad. And this is also cause and condition. At that moment, I accumulated bad karma without giving smile back. And if I was very neutral, with a very neutral face, without saying anything, this is not nice. But even worse, if I show ugly face, or say, let's say, why he greeting me? I don't know him or her. So then this is because my motivation, And because of my reaction according to my motivation, so it harms him or her. So therefore, I get bad karma. So in that sense, since immediately after you are awaking in the morning, we all get some thoughts. So whether these thoughts are good thoughts, neutral thoughts, or bad thoughts, any thoughts have or planted seed, something in our mind, in my mind, for example. If I have some problems, so then at the beginning of today, I must do this, I must do that, I would like to fight with him or her, or I want to do a little bit better, or I want to show my understanding, and so on. There are so many things. So because of that, I mean, we can talk from this non-stop about this experiences. So that means we are accumulating karmas from second to second. Every second, we will accumulate karma. And the karma should not understand something very big things, but very, very small. I also give my text, a new text. I get into MRT or buses. There are so many people get in, and I see a space chair, space seat. And I think, I must run it to get it. Otherwise, someone will get it, and that I wouldn't get. This is also, I'm harming to the others. So therefore, it's a very, very, every movement, give us some, or better say, plant some seeds. So if I, for example, in the morning, I fill up the offering waters in my altar. And after that, burn the lights and burn some incense. And then I do some prayers. And while I'm doing prayers, I also watching all, for example, Buddha's statue, Vajradhara statue, of course, statue of my teachers and the Lokeswaras, and so on and so forth. There's Pemasambhavas and Tsongkhapas, all these statues. And every time when I'm watching, I'm not watching the statue. That's, if I may say, that's the solid things. But I'm seeing, I remind all their good qualities. As soon as I see Dhamma, I always seeing Four Noble Truths. And as when I focus to the Vajradhara, I always think about the four classes of tantras. And just for example, so that means through the scenes, I remember or I remind myself all these qualities. So thinking qualities of Buddha's Bodhisattvas, I'll get good karma, right? And so therefore it is therefore in the Buddhist texts mentioned that even you are angry during this moment, in this moment, if you see some Buddha statues, Buddha's painting, whatever, so this seeing has so strong effect in your mind. So this is an accumulation of a good karma. Although you are not in a good mood. But if you're seeing them with good mood, with some prayers, with remember their knowledges, quality, good qualities. So there's no limit that accumulation that you or that you plant or that you get in your mind. So therefore, karmic links is very, very crucial and very, very important. So, as I mentioned just now, if I see someone and show good face or bad face, and therefore it affects something. This is cause and effect. And this cause and effect shows interdependence. If I would like to happy, the happiness cannot come just like this, just like magic. I cannot expect to get happiness without that I'm doing something in order to achieve this happiness. So happiness is also interdependent. And without, therefore, dependent origination. Origination, the nature of all these phenomena is dependent. So dependently arise, dependently existed. So dependent to each other, good and bad, long and short, big and small. And everything is interdependent. So dependence and understanding of cause and effects are very much linked together. So then, if we are going through with the law of cause and effect, a very sense of Buddhism, I will train in the conduct of giving up, harming others, and depends on origination, view of imputed existence. I will strive the great path of bringing happiness to others. Either you practice Sutra or Tantra. In fact, at the end, it must be something happened in our mind, in our mental disposition. As I mentioned now, in my new text, I also mentioned from the journalist or from whoever, seeing, let's say, someone from Europe go to the India to see some Tibetan monasteries, and then see the monasteries doing some pujas and using musical instrument, singing the chant, they're chanting so many prayers and the very, very extensive pujas taking place. So now I must ask, for what purpose doing this? This is not sure, not for sure, but it's need to be affected in our mind. Our, in sense of the doer, the monks who are using instrument symbols such as, or using trumpet. The people, the individual must know why I'm doing this. Whether through doing this practice, this is symbol, is it help for my mind or not? If it wouldn't help in his mind to reduce defilements, then this just show. Just like the theater. And if you play some players taking place on the stage, there's no expectation that the players, the actors, and the actor need to have a good motivation and to achieve this and to achieve that. Nothing. Just want to show good play in order to make happy the audience. Finished. But religious act is totally different than other other performance. So therefore, whenever I see such a ritual through the YouTubes, I really want to know individual all these monks, one by one, in their mind, what really they're thinking. I think there's big danger, just like show. It's very pretty, very pretty. And my teacher also said, today, the non-Tibetans, including scientists, very much interested in Buddhism, not because of very extensive doing pujas, but their interest in their, such as Nagarjuna's text, such as other great Indian masters and Tibetan ancient masters. It's really all these texts based or rooted in our happiness, how we can remove, how we can reduce our defilements, how we can increase our wisdom. So through this development, benefit for the others, we're supposed to achieve Buddhahood. How I can get that state? That's the actually main message, right? So therefore, it's one side very interesting to know, and actually it's not only interesting, but it's very, very important and dangerous as well, in order to not become Buddhism or the Buddhist practice as play, as show. So Buddhist practice can help so many peoples. And the name of Dharma, the meaning of Dharma is meaning of Dharma is researching the nature of mind. A definition of Dharma in Tibetan, if I may translate roughly, holding its own nature. Holding its own nature, that means always looking for the nature, searching for the nature of mind, not the nature outside, in woods or water or whatever, plants and so on, but our mind. Our mind is actually basic source of happiness and sufferings. All sufferings coming from our mind, all happiness coming from our mind. I read somewhere that one doctor said, very interesting things. Doctor give us painkiller. The painkillers actually, it make us, if I may say in English, dumb. So that's because otherwise we have such a strong feeling for pain. So through this medicine, so our mind become dull, not sharp. So that means this kind of medicine removed certain concept, which is focused on the pain. Therefore, the drug, using drug, supposed to be produced very happy, right? So that means all the sorrows or all sufferings, at least covered, or for a certain period, moved out, deleted for the time being. So therefore, it's very clear there's a suffering coming from mind. And if we can change mind, that we are not suffering, or that we are not having feeling of suffering, so that will be, that is the happiness. So therefore, Dharma practice is not like a painkiller with side effect, but without side effect, to improve for day by day, month by month, year by year. At the end, to remove totally. But from medicine, it's only for the temporarily support. So, in short, all our happiness produce or coming from our mind. But this happiness we need to produce by ourselves. We must need to work on that. If we don't work for this, then we will never have happiness. And if we not work properly, so we will be not in the position to remove our sufferings. So everything is in your hand, in our hands. So this is the basic. This is the basic of Buddhism. So therefore, I mentioned the verse number 1, and 4, and 6, and 7, and 8. These are the basic. Buddha said, the situations like this, whatever you would like to do, you have to do by yourself. I can't do anything. I only can show the method. The doctor can test us and give some sort of medicine. But if you are going to take this medicine or not, it's not up to the doctor, but up to ourselves. If I don't use medicine, so then my disease will not be recovered. And then doctor cannot do anything. Not more than that, to give, he only can give the medicine and some advice about to practice, put into practice this treatment or exercise. So because I need to see some orthopedic doctor, and then he always says, "Oh, you need to do this stretch for 10 minutes, or this kind of exercise for 20 minutes every day," and so on and so forth. Give some charts. It's very interesting to receive all these things. But after I come back at home, I don't do this. So then, of course, I will not be, I can't expect any development, my health condition, right? And we also have a home trainer. But to use home trainer is hardly happened. And one of my niece, she says our home trainer is good for the dry the clothes, because we just some bed sheets or some big things. It's good to put on the home trainer. So therefore, it's only for the so just like using for to dry the clothes. So therefore, it's everything is up to us. So this is actually really important to know about this. Okay, so then next is number 13. Rikpe jendang lamdo tibetsu rimbandi chik chan jawayi dede malu dela drujurwe damdo sushin dindi emaho. These properly arranged instructions are the way for those who adhere to reasoning to be led along the path. And through their stages, all the aspirations of a single person to become enlightened are easily and quickly fulfilled. What wonder. So now we are talking about here main matter. Main point is those who are adhere to reasoning, and opposite to this, those who adhere to faith. So adhere to faith means most of us doing this. We just pay visit the temples, burn some incense, and burn also some lights, during prostrations, and then more or less asking something that I would like to achieve. And even this achievement that I expect, most probably based on one's own benefit, to remove some disease by my relatives or friends or whatever, and then achieve some good business or good successful job, or something like that. This is very, very common. And actually, these are not our main problems. Our main problem is, as many of you know, the many different kinds of sufferings that we need to be and would like to be varnished. We can see 3 different kinds of sufferings, and 6 different kinds of sufferings, and 8 different kinds of sufferings. So actually, there are much more than that. But these are most well known in the text. So you can find out in general Lamrim texts. These are very, very common, so that I don't want to now go further in detail. So, however, of course, we need to have certain faith, but this faith need to be based on the understanding, especially on the reasoning and understanding. And otherwise, the word faith is, I'm really not that happy with this terminology. Of course, English is not my own language. So therefore, I don't know what kind of understanding other aspect of matters with this word. But only faith, so that I don't want to be, I really don't want to criticize other religions, but structure is different that we have, and there's some other religions. So Buddhism is not based on the faith to the Buddha Dhamma and Sangha. We are respecting, we are admiring their qualities. So this is actually a big difference. Faith in the sense of that. So however, I make you so many offerings or whatever, and wish to obtain wishes to fulfill these and that wishes. And then Buddha says, okay, I'll do that. Don't worry about that. So this kind of communication between Buddha and myself cannot be taking place, never be taking place. Buddha explained everything 1 week after he achieved enlightenment, which is the Four Noble Truths. So going back to my previous explanation, cause and condition. So we need to work with cause and condition on that basis. And if you are not, if you accumulate so many unsuitable karmas, there's no use to expect it, make a request, anything to the Buddhas. Buddha's helpless. And if you could see Buddha himself in person, so he only can say, I'm so sorry about that. I can't do anything. And I explained to you everything. So now you must do something. So I would like to do, but both of my hands are very totally bind, so I cannot do anything more than that. So that will be his answer. So therefore, just believe in faith in Buddha, that he will be, that he can solve all our difficulties, and he can give everything. No. So therefore, it is very, very important to understand, adhere to the reasoning, and not adhere to faith. So next, number 14. Sungro kunji nyingbo ngakwa yi, jayun beze mefang gombo yi, jayanle tangwa lamji rinbesu, sungbo jesu gawe loba jit. So this is some sort of generated joy in the instruction stages of the path. The subject is very enjoyable, very, very needful, and which comes from the Buddha Maitreya. And this subject is praised from all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, as essence of all the literatures. So that's my translation. So I rejoice and will train in the hidden meanings of Mother Profession of Wisdom Sutra. Hidden meaning. Oh, hidden meanings. So that means Abhisamaya, he explained more of the so-called vast path, the opposite, not opposite, but other than deep path. Deep path is only emptiness, madhyamika, and Abhisamaya explained from the method side, and emptiness side is we can find in this text only the hidden way. So therefore, hidden meanings of Mother Profession of Wisdom Sutras. Mother Profession, which is wisdom, which is emptiness. Renowned as the essence of all the scriptures and taught by Maitreya in ornament of insight. This is the text, Abhisamaya, as stages, path, instructions. So I just try to remember one source I would like to quote, but I can't remember this word. But never mind. The meaning is it's because of base or basic, and because of a path, because of a result. There are three kinds of ways need to be considered. So main thing in the base in our state of mind, in our level, there are two: relative level and absolute level. Because of that, one need to get certain paths, certain teaching, certain practice, which is deal with both truths, relative truths, absolute truths, and to make clear what is relative, what is the absolute, what does it means, and whether they are good or not, and if it's not good, which is not good, and how can you achieve some sort of overcome the bad side, and what will be result. The result is Dhammakaya and Sambhogakaya, Nimanakaya, of form body and mind body of the Buddhas. So this 222 and the base, there's the two relative level and absolute level. And in order to develop this, then we have two kinds of accumulations: accumulation of merit, accumulation of wisdom. As a result, we can achieve the Buddha's body, the Buddha's mind. These are the certain pattern, right? So if you know this, so then you should know the really basic mind, or not mind, basic function of Buddhism and the purpose of Buddhism and how it's working in the Buddhist practice. Why we are doing this, why we are doing that. Everything linked with all this related with these two natures, relative nature, relative level or the absolute level. So maybe I think this is fine. And next is now I'm starting from here, so-called 10 instructions, which are coming out of the ornament of inside text from the Buddha Maitreya. Then Drupta Dema Namtani, Sanje Laso, Jamne Kunjo Sum, Ma Shen Patang, Yons Mingi Shin, Teshen Lamne, Yons Zimba Tang. That's number 15. Number 16 need to go, need to join. Drupla Rawan Jubi Chiangatang, Druba Newt George, Nanshe Tuk, Tong Gom Chebe, Teshen Tangwa Chur, Lotu Dambe Shunshin, Zamba Jit. So this is the brief explanation, or more or less counting the 10 instructions. So number 1 is in practice. I don't want to go very precisely, very thoroughly now, because it comes one by one later. So, however, to practice, to overcome the obstacles and to achieve the enlightenment or whatever. Number 2, the Four Truths, Four Noble Truths. And Four Noble Truths are also based on two noble truths, relative truth and absolute truth. Number 3, 3 jewels, Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. And then number 4, number 1, the practice. Number 2 is the Four Truths. Number 3 is 3 jewels of refugee of Buddha, and so on, Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. Number 4, non-attachment. And number 5 is non-attachment, is very clear, not to giving up. So, of course, it's we need to pay so much attention. We need to have strength to develop our mental disposition. So we should not give up very easily. So it's always whatever we have in mind to remove is not easy at all. That we all know, right? If we are something, if we are affected by some joyful events or sadness, it cannot go immediately without with some short explanation or whatever. It's remain something in our mind. So therefore, to remove all this touch, all this feeling, we need to pay so much attention and need to be practiced or to effort to remove or to improving. Number 6, adhering to the great vehicle path. So since you are engaged or you decided to help all sentient beings, so that we need to remain our wish very firmly, not give up, and not we should not lose our interest in that and doing that. And then that's that. Number say. The next is number 16. I think I read in Tibetan. Drupala rawan jubi changatan, drupa nyut zoje ngashitu, tongom chebe, tekchen danga shur, lochu dambe shungshi zambaji. The number 7, the 5 sides granting power of process. Power of a process. So that we will be able to know what kind of abilities through doing this process, this and that process. Number 8 is 6 clear voices to quickly complete its process. So this is the special quality of understanding, special quality of realization, or better to say, to understand, to know, actually, to know. Super nature of knowing. The path of the path of number 9, seeing and meditation. This is the most common one, the seeing path and meditation path. In Buddhists, we have five paths, right? 5 paths, isn't it? Path number 1 is accumulation. Path number 2 is application. Path number 3 is seeing. Path number 4 is path of meditation. And path number 5 and the last is a path of no more learning, and which is more or less Buddhahood, enlightenment. These are the 10 great vehicle instructions. I will train in the thought and the true perseverance, and in keeping with the instruction, scriptures. So actually, I don't think that we need to go through again, because it comes later. So now it's a number, what happened? I have some problems. Page number 17, 18. Well, yes, that's right. Now we're trying to explain one by one. The instruction number 1 is mi tesin semki dubarang ngo deni lan dambata denju tudu iba ngo tretab. Instruction number 1, teachings on the two truths and nature of practice, and in introduction to the relativity of dependent origination, with the focus upon great vehicle bodhicitta. this heading. So now the number 17. Semcho jebarju kapkuntu shi nisu nane nyebone kudu nawa tenju lumetang tendam nilu mite kunshi pa, or better to say pe, with genitive. At all instance of generating the supreme body mind, I will know the instruction of nature of practice, which is that it never transgresses the stage of the path of the true truths. So the message is, first of all, I think I would like to explain generate the supreme body mind. The purpose of generating the supreme body mind, enlightened mind, is to serve, to help, to support the all sentient beings. So this is actually, yes, because of this, I would like to achieve Buddhahood. Focus to the Buddhahood is secondary. And the number one meaning of to generate the supreme Buddha mind is helping for the others. This is the main focus. So now it's very easy to say, and it's very common. And actually, all recitations start with taking refuge and the bodhicitta, generate the bodhicitta, and then 4 immeasurables. So therefore, it's I also mentioned in my new text to recite and to say that about the 4 immeasurable. It's too fast and too early. In our level, if I myself watch very carefully, it is really, I can't say it's nonsense, but it's not sufficient to talking about bodhicitta and to talking about the 4 immeasurables. It's too early, because my mind is totally uneven. And I love my family, I love my friends, and then I have very strong dislike those people, so some group of peoples, and then large number of peoples. Never mind, I don't care about that because I don't know in any case. Unfortunately, must say, people in Africa, I have no connection. What should I do with them? How can I help them? And then so this attitude is always there. So because of that, my mind is totally uneven. And that, within this capacity, how can I generate 4 immeasurable practice? Impossible. Because although we are reciting, in the text, of course, we say, I wish that all the suffered by all sentient beings will be free and not suffering and possess they're being always happy and so on and so forth. But in fact, do I really interest in that? Unfortunately, no. If I only tour to my most dear friends, yes. But some others, my mind is too weak. So therefore, we need to start this kind of four immeasurable practice with your husband, wife, brothers, sisters, in-laws, special mother-in-laws, and then some or other relatives, and your neighbor or neighbors. And then, if you are really able to be able to generate, including your mother-in-law, so your mind is quite it's good start, taking good shape, taking better shape. So then you need to go through with your colleagues that you work every day together, and those people who are you are meeting in the shops, shopkeepers, and the people in the cashiers, and that you are knowing and seeing frequently, and then the students, your teachers, and whoever, right? You need to start one by one. Better start with your, if you're married, with your husband and boyfriend, or girlfriend or boyfriend, never mind. And then just one by one, just increase. So only can be achieved that state that we can talking about all sentient beings. But right at the beginning, my home is totally messy, and just talking about a very clean space to move such a to get such a clean place. No way, there's no way. So therefore, it's a very difficult if you're thinking about this, and we can see, we can wish, we can talk about happiness and suffering by the others, but really that we are not, whether you are really interested seriously or not. Unfortunately, say no. But even you are interested seriously, but just you are interested, only interested, but you don't do anything. In Buddhist practice, there's one so-called Tonglen, giving and taking practice. And I mentioned that new text. You spend a good time in the 5-star hotels and doing practice Tonglen. But whether the question is, would it be help those people who are outside and the very bad condition, living condition, homeless people? Would it help you at only from the 5-star hotels to those homeless people or not? Unfortunately not. But instead of that you are really going down and open your mind and all your clothes just wrap on, pull up, then helped with your own hand. This is really Tonglen. This is physically, mentally support, real support. Nothing just thinking and talking. This is an empty word. And it's actually it's a bit ashamed. So if you are really carefully interested in Buddhist practice, then we need to deal all these kind of things. But if you're just satisfied with some chanting, some using a music instrument, and so on and so forth, then of course this is another matter, right? The question is, what I'm going to do, and what is your task? So first, we need to solve this kind of matters. So it's not very easy. Actually, I would like to say you, just keep your mind very clean, go in the temple and offering some lights and incense and so on, maybe some coins or so, just do some prayer. So that's a wonderful Buddhist practice. That's a kind of, I would like to suggest you, but I can't, because this is not really Buddhist practice. Buddhist practice need to be work in our mind, by ourselves. And otherwise, even if you are living in the temple, temple caretaker, there's no evidence. Temple caretakers achieve Buddha faster than others. So therefore, it's difficult. It's difficult. So therefore, but still, I hope that you're not lose interest in doing this practice. But it's the nature of Buddhism is full of knowledge that helps you in order to overcome your defilements, your concept, which make us difficulties. So therefore, we have to engage with all these things. So I think now I would like to stop here. I feel a bit tired, and then I hope that you have a enjoyable evening. And in Singapore and China, so now it's quite late. So I wish you all a very good night and see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for your attention. Thank you. See you tomorrow. 明天见.